Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we are continuing our look at the most valuable cards in every standard legal set. We are looking at BreakPoint. But if you want to look at any of the other sets up to now, check the links in the description. So coming in at number 10, we have the secret rare Gyarados EX. Now, Gyarados really didn't keep value very much. There was a promo that came out of Gyarados, but it was never particularly playable anyway. It was never a particularly good card. $7 for a secret rare that's won every 2 or 3 boxes. Seems on the low side, but people just don't like this Gyarados card, I'm afraid. In at number 9, Full Art ESPEON EX. Now, this did see a little bit of play because people liked the attack for just a single colourless energy. You could devolve your opponent's Pokemon, spread some damage round, take some prizes by just devolving them when they've got enough damage on to KO the pre-evolution. Never saw a huge amount of play, but people like evolutions, by which I mean cards that evolve from Eevee. So a full art card of a card that evolves from Eevee gets it up to number 9 on the list at $7.50. In at number 8, a regular card, albeit a reverse holo version thereof. $8 reverse holo max Elixir. Now, we've seen this in previous videos with cards like Trainer's Mail and Versus Seeker. If a card is really, really good, and I mean really good, then it will get up to the kind of $8 range for the reverse holo at least. Max Elixir has seen a whole bunch of play and success with Manaphy and Seismitoad in Water Box decks, more recently with Darkrai, from this very set in fact. It's just a really good card. People like the shiny reverse holo version. That puts it up at number 8. In at number 7, the Full Art Mega Scizor EX, $8. Now, Mega Scizor has seen a little bit of play. The attack is pretty good, and this has been played and it has top cut some tournaments. But as we've talked about in these kind of videos before, people love Mega EXs, especially the Full Art. In at number 6, regular Darkrai EX, $9. If a regular EX is getting up to $9 and making it onto this list, it's got to be really good. And Darkrai from BreakPoint is. At the recent Anaheim Regionals, it was a deck that won, and it was the most popular deck in terms of success and making top cut. It's a really, really good card. It gets it up here. In at number 5, Full Art SKYLA. Now, SKYLA's never been a supporter on the same level as things like Professor Sycamore, but you know what? It's seen a little bit of play here and there. It's a 1 or 2 of in a bunch of decks, and the full art version was always going to do very, very well. Although some people do like it for the artwork. In at number 4, GReninja Break. And you'll notice in these videos so far, Break Pokemon have not been featuring prominently. Thing about GReninja Break, this has been part of the best deck in the format at times, and one of the best decks at others. GReninja Break is absurdly good for the ability, which allows you to just pop 6 damage counters down. Now, it helps that it evolves from the BreakPoint Greninja, which is obscenely good as well, and of course the really good Water Duplicates Frogadier, and don't sleep on the Froakie in his Bubble attack. It was so good, it still sits there at $10, although I think the price of this might fall because this is seeing quite a reduction in play. In at number 3, Mega Gyarados, $11. Now, I told you that the secret rare Gyarados and that Gyarados in general wasn't popular. Mega Gyarados is, although $11 in the top 3 is not that much, ladies and gentlemen. So, people like it. People like Mega Pokemon. Gyarados is pretty cool. In at number 2, Full Art Darkrai EX. Everything I said about Darkrai a minute ago still rings true, except this is the pretty full art version, so people like it more. And the number 1 card, $14.50, Full Art Mega Gyarados EX. It's the best Mega in the set in terms of popularity. Now, don't get me wrong, Mega Scizor is better as a card than Mega Gyarados, but Mega Gyarados, it's a popular Pokemon, it's a Mega, it's a full art, it's number 1. Still doesn't really explain why the secret rare Gyarados is so cheap in comparison, but it's not a Mega. and people like Mega Pokemon. Now, it's fairly slim pickings in terms of honourable mentions, but I did find a few for you. Full Art Ho-Oh, $7. Full Art Manaphy, $7. Full Art Scizor, $6. Regular Mega Scizor, $5.50. It's still a Mega Pokemon at the end of the day. And Reverse Holo Fighting Fury Belt, $5.50, which is a little surprising given that Fighting Fury Belt is a phenomenally good card. But this is not a very expensive set, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much everything else is a couple $5 cards. Most of this set can be picked up for $3, which is less than it costs to buy a pack of cards. BreakPoint is not an expensive set, but let's see where it ranks. Average of the top 10, $9.70. Now, if we put that on the list, Roaring Skies is $19.37, although artificially increased with Shaman. Ancient Origins is $19.35, but if you go beyond the top 10, Ancient Origins jumps into number 1. Primal Clash is $16.85. Breakthrough was the previous bottom feeder at $11.15, so this BreakPoint jumps in at $9.70, clearly in the bottom. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not a set that I would suggest you invest in. I would, however, suggest that you pop a comment down below, click the like and subscribe buttons, and follow me on Twitter @TheWassy. The most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCGRadio.